Hello, thanks for watching. Today I'm going to show you how to just start sewing, how to get a needle and thread ready, the very basics, right? So first we have the thread, and I'm going to measure it from the middle of my body out my arm's length. So it goes twice, 1, 2, and then cut. And the reason that I do that is so when I'm sewing, as I pull, it will only go to my arm's length, right? So I won't have to go further than my arm's length. And also I want it as long as possible. That way I can just do as much as I can. But short thread is really easy to work with. So don't worry if your thread is short. There's an expression that says long thread, lazy girl. So short thread is, you have to re-thread often, but you can sew very, very quickly. Okay? All right, let's go to the next step. Okay, here we go. So a couple things that are really, really important. This tip of my thread needs to be sharp to go into the eye of the needle. I do prefer using embroidery needles for sewing. I get a size 7 or 8. I do a lot of embroidery, so this way I only have to buy one kind of needle. Embroidery needles, size 7 and 8, they're great. So you can just snip with very sharp scissors, right? Fabric scissors. Snip the end so that it stays very sharp and pointy. We avoid licking them, and it will just go right through the hole, right? And I do keep my fingers really close to the tip like this. If I'm having any kind of trouble, I just let it peek out as tiny little bit as possible and then make it go right through, right? It might take a couple times. Okay, so that's one way. If it's really, really fuzzy or anything like that, you can use some beeswax. It smells so delicious. And you just take your thread and thumb and run it across the beeswax, and this will kind of slick it up so it can be even more pointy. Once you get your thread through the eye of the needle, you're going to pull it so that both ends are even. I'm going to make mine short just to be able to demonstrate on camera so you can see everything. So here's the thread. I made both ends even at the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to tie a knot in those. So you can do it a few ways. You can just take both ends together, loop, and then pull through the loop, pull the tail through the loop like that. That's one way. If you're going to do that one, I would recommend doing it twice. If you don't move your right hand while you're doing it, the knot will go in the same place most of the time. So I did that one. I did move my right hand already, but if I hadn't, let's see if we can adjust it. So I'm going to let it go through, pull, and it stayed in the same place. Okay, that's pretty important. You don't need a string of like 3 or 4 knots. The other way you can do is the quilter's knot, or it's similar to a French knot. And so you make a number 1 with your finger, just like this. Number 1, and then you're going to make a sandwich. So it goes finger, thread, needle. That's your sandwich, okay? And then with this left hand, see the tails are sticking out on the other side, but with the left hand, I'm going to wind it very close around. You can do 1, 2, 3 times, whatever. I usually do 2 or 3 when I'm sewing. And then see that little spiral that's around the needle? Pinch that with your right hand. And then I'm going to use my left fingers and just pull the needle through. And that will be, here it is one more time. All the knots ended up going in the exact same spot. But I'm going to make a sandwich. Finger, thread, needle, wind around 1, 2, or 3 times, and then pull through. If I'm working on fabric, come through, wind, and again, you can move it back or forth. Wherever the tip of the needle goes is where your knot will go. So I put it right in the exact same spot. Pulling with my left hand. Pulling on this side to make it go down very, very close to the fabric. Push through. And there's a nice little tiny dot French knot. Super cute. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions below. Thanks for watching.